Hey guys, welcome back to another Buddy Fight video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my Thunder Empire deck. I'm going to call it the Budget Thunder Empire deck. I did invest a good amount of money into this deck just to get certain cards. Like, I did get a box to do a search for the bots, and I have some other random stuff from other sets. But this is basically it. This is my Thunder Empire deck in real life. So I'm going to be talking about it, some of the combos you can come up with, really simple stuff, and just going over the deck, and hopefully I don't take up too much of your time. Again, if you enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe, and all that stuff, and tell me what you think of the deck. Anyways, so let's start off with the impacts. I don't know, I decided to run 3 impacts this card. I do have Distinguished Punisher for this. It's pretty bad, but I run it just because I feel like sometimes you need that finisher. 4 gauge, opponent's fire life or less. You have to attack 2 more times this turn. 4 gauge, 4 damage to your opponent. It's a decent finisher if you really need it. And then, of course, 2 Thunderlance. I think Thunderlance can explain itself. It's pretty obvious, you know. You have to attack 3 times, 3 gauge, 5 damage. Basically, you win. Your opponent can't be revived unless they can bring their life up before you use the impact and deal that 5 damage. So, basically, instant kill right there. So, Thunderlance is just a great finisher card, obviously. So, that's it for the impacts. Only 3. Anyways, moving on. The items. So, I don't have the best items. I don't have Dragon Rattle or Arc Dragon Sword. But I do have Arc Dragon Odashi right here, which is a really nice card. It's got 3,000 power. It can gain 3,000 power again if a monster on your field attacks alone. With critical 2, when it attacks and destroys your opponent's monster or deals damage, you gauge. So it's a nice gauge card right there. And of course has some decent stats, and you know, it's a double rare, so why not put it in? I've also got 1 Bolting Knuckle, because I feel like Bolting Knuckle is just a nice pay, because really in Thunder Empire, you want to get low on life. So you can equip this card, pay a life, next turn pay a life. The 3 crit is pretty decent. I know it's not the best item, but it works, surprisingly. Especially if you're at 5 life, you want to get down to 4, equip this card, or you already have it equipped, pay a life, go down to 4. So you can activate your bots and your spells, because you have to get 4 life or less for Thunder Empire. For those who don't know, Thunder Empire focuses on low life. And basically, it's just a really nice 3 crit, 5k power is pretty decent. And then you've got Gemini Stone Sword. I really like this card, especially because it's not like really high rarity. It is an uncommon, but it has 5,000 power, critical 2, 1 gauge to equip. When this card attacks, you choose to use one of the following 2. It gets critical +1 or power +2,000. So really getting that up to 7k power is really, really nice, because a lot of stuff, especially size 3s, have usually an average of 7,000 defense. 7,000 defense, which is enough for you to take down most stuff. Okay, moving on. We've got 3 copies of Dual Spark. So in total, you now have 6 items in the deck, which for me, I find is enough. Maybe you want to run 7 just so you know for sure you're getting that Thunder Empire item, because a lot of the stuff needs it, especially like the buddy bots, which I forgot to mention, which I'll do in a second. Anyways, 1 gauge, 1 life to equip. This card cannot attack the left or right. It's got double attack though, with 5k power, critical of 1. Boost this with something like Winning with Wits, which I'll talk about later. You can give this card critical +2, 3,000 power, so that's 8k power, 2 crit, double attack, really, really nice. So really great for setting up combos in the deck, especially with other cards, which I'll talk about in a second. Anyways, forgot to mention that. But also there's the SP bots from Search for the Bots if you haven't seen it yet. Anyways, life counter, trial deck, very simple. Just regular Dragon World flag and resurrected Arc Dragon bots. Might as well just talk about them now. You probably know about them, but 1 gauge to call, 7 to 4, size 2 monster. During your turn, this card cannot be destroyed. At this, during turn, this card on your field cannot be destroyed. At the beginning of your attack phase, you have an item equipped, this card gets double attack. Then if you have 4 life or less, destroy monster in your opponent's field. So destroying monster in your opponent's field isn't too great, but still double attack, it's bots. You can use it with other cards in the deck, combo it up. It can be used with bots decks again. It's a great card. Now, with this card, I am missing a few copies of stuff, but again, this isn't like a complete, you know, it's a budget deck. So, let's just start off with monsters real quick. So, I don't have too many of them right here, if I can just reach it and grab them. Here you go. Only got 2 size 0s. Surprisingly, it works out in deck. For example, if you're going against Prisms right here, I do have 1 Heaven Sunshine, because that's the only copy I have. But surprisingly, I find that card works really well. If your Prisms or whoever you're buddy fighting has size 0, you can destroy that size 0, bring out one of these to your center, and set up some combos, or you can destroy size 2, bring out bots, because definitely the fact that you can search for bots, especially if it's the SP one, with triple tank is really nice, especially in a budget deck. Especially all these other ones, because you don't have too many copies of high rarity cards, so I find Heaven Sunshine works really well. So, that's my exclamation for that. I know I'm going back and forth, just bear with me here. 1 life, destroy monster opponent's field. Then if you do call to one Dragon, World, or Guardians monster of the same size, shuffle your deck. So it's a really nice combo. Linear, classic 2-crit Boomerang Dragon, really nice. And then you've also got Bumpy, which I find is a nice card just because you can give that crit +1 to bots. Pair that up with double tech, triple tech, other combos in the deck. You can also give this an item as well just because it says Thunder Empire. That's the attribute, doesn't have the same monster item. So the fact that you can give crit +1 to anything on your board is just really nice. So that's it for size 2s right there. Let's just start with size 2s because we can. Mercenary Braver the Extreme Dragon right here, if I can pull him out of the sleeve, yeah. So, really nice card in my opinion for a budget deck. Size 2 monster, 8,000 power, 3,000 defense. Sorry, 1,000 defense, AK power, and critical 3. Jeez, I'm just getting mixed up right here. Anyways, 1 gauge to call. This card cannot attack the left or right, but when it attacks, you have an item equipped. Put a soul from a card in Pulse field into the drop zone with Penetrate. So, 3 could Penetrate, AK power. Really nice. The fact that you can't attack left or right maybe isn't too good, but the fact that you can remove a soul, especially for opponents, let's say against Requiem or Death Count Serenade, you can actually get rid of the soul if they don't have an effect that's blocking it. And it's also great against the meta that has a lot of Soul Guard out there, so that's great to have. Also, 2 copies all-around Warrior Tetra. I needed some good size 2s. Move. Can get up to 6k power. Penetrate. It's just a classic Gao card. Why not just throw it into the deck? It's offense and defense. Why not? And then, of course, 4 copies of Resurrected Archdragon bots right here. Then, I've got 1 copy of Faint Memory bots. This card isn't actually that bad. Again, it doesn't have the ability on your turn cannot be destroyed. I do have Dragobond for him and for size 1s, or, you know, when your opponent tries to go for bots. But 1 gauge, end of the turn battle that this card attack, you have item quit, stand this card. Then you get 4 life or less, this card gets critical +2. So that's 4 crit, you can swing twice. Pair this up with other cards that can boost critical. This card can just absolutely like high crit, just destroy your opponent. And of course, the original bots, Demon Lord, Dragon bots, SP artwork. Take a look at that beauty. 1 gauge during your turn, this card in your field cannot be destroyed. Beginning of your attack phase for this turn, this card gets double attack. Then you have 4 life or less, 3k power, triple attack. Incredible card. Maybe he might get pushed out because BattleBots and maybe some other size 2s. But still, my opinion, triple attack is just so good. Especially in this kind of deck where I'd like to build up combos for high critical and Thunder Empire. It just works just really well. Especially with a card like Globs and other stuff. Anyways, moving on to size 3s. I have 2. Fahrenheit, because sometimes when you destroy size 3 with Heaven Sunshine, you can just get it. I'd probably just sideboard these 2. But, you know, 2 gauge to call. Scarring Field cannot be destroyed by effect of a monster, which includes counterattack as well. Because that is an effect when this card attacks, deal 1 damage to your opponent, and double attack. So, burn effect damage, 8k power, really nice. So, size 3, plus I got some size 0s to go with it. Tyrak can pop all cards in your opponent's field for life or less attack, or monsters, burn damage, nice card. So, 2 size 3s right there. Sorry for hitting the camera. But yeah, trying to keep it simple and concise. I realize how long this video is already, so thank you to those who are bearing with me here. Anyways, moving on to the size 1s. Pentar. You probably want more copies of him. I didn't get another one from the booster box. But, you know, classic column. Thunder Ember item equipped. Free draw. Really nice card. You also got Cylinder right here. I feel like this is really nice for extra attacks. For life or less, you can get double attack. Pair this up with other stuff. Again, you can get some higher crit. Bots SD. Oh boy. This card I really like just because it sets you up really nice for combos. You bring out a bots that you can try and bait them because they know they have to take down bots or they're going to get swinged out. Then just jokes on them, bring out this card, bring out Baxter in the drop zone, have absolute comeback with that crit +1 plus 3,000 power. And just a little gauge heavy, but it's still really nice. Especially if you don't have cards like In the Name of Thunder Empire. I do have 1 copy, so it does help. 2 Aleph Draggy is, again, as I said, 7k power. It's enough to take down most stuff. So that's really nice right there. Support Warlock Yaida. This card, 3k power to all Thunder Empire on your field. So basically that includes your items, your bots, your size 1s. So pair this up. This is really good against Prism Dragons. Evil Deity Dragons, 10k power. I have not played against them. Because, you know, reasons. It's just buddy fight. I just haven't really been doing much or going out for tournaments. But basically, 10k defense. Sorry. Yeah, 10k defense. Highest defense out there. Boost 3,000 to your entire board. It's just amazing. Sorry, I meant field, not board. Okay, last 3 size 1s here. Fanning, You know, just for more power. 1 gauge, 3 crit. That's a good amount of damage. During your turn, all Thunder Emperor on your field cannot be rest nor returned to hand by your opponent's cards. Usually you have bot 6 again for that, but still 3 crit, still nice. You've also got Tactician Colin. Cannot be called to center. All Thunder Emperor on your field get critical +1. Again, that includes your items as well. To bring that on to Dual Spark, use other cards that can give crit +1. Dual Spark can get like 4 crit double attack, or sorry, 3 crit double attack, which is really nice. And then of course, Globs, the best size one Thunder Empire monster so far, except for, you know, Chibi Panda, aka Saint Holy Sword Dragon, though that's not out. Anyways, split the reward. When another Thunder Empire monster enters field, top card that can engage, draw, obviously incredible. He only has 1 crit, but when this card attacks for this turn, a card on your field gets critical +1. So again, you can use this on your item, your bots, whatever you need. So it is just an absolutely incredible card. And I forgot about Discus right here. Basically just a really nice cycle card, and you get an extra draw if you're 4 life or less. So that's sometimes pretty clutch if you want to try and get Lance from that effect. Again, it is a budget, but I find that this deck works really well for me, especially for the fact it doesn't have too many high rarity cards. I do wish it had better items like Draco Royale because that power and that double attack is really nice. You know, it's still good enough for me, so it works. Moving on to spells, finally, thank you for those who have been here this entire video. I realize how long this is, but I don't want to speed it too fast. I want to make sure that I'm clear and all that stuff. If you guys have any questions, please put them down below. Anyways, let's start off with Dragonic Exchange right here. Distinguished Apprenticer, for those who don't know, I'm just going to point it, it's the one with Pentar right there. Basically, you gauge 3 and you gain a life if you Thunder Emperor monster in your field. So pair this up with Dragonic Exchange, and you have a lot more cards you can search through your gauge for. I find this card works really well in this kind of a deck, especially if you can't get items, or you need that impact, you need that bots. It's in your gauge. Well, surprise, you get it. Put it into your hand, exchange a card from your hand into your gauge. It's a great card in my opinion. Demon Lord's Roaring Dragon Blast. Sometimes this card is pretty useful, sometimes it's pretty bad. To get short all monster opponent's field and draw cards equal to the number of cards destroyed. So, you know, it's a nice draw power, especially if your opponent's field is just full and you just want to pop stuff. Again, it's also monster destruction as well. In the name of Thunder Empire, 2 life, call a monster from your drop zone. Call up to 2 monsters from your drop zone, separate areas, paying the call cost. Pretty simple card, and you get your bots, your size 1, and set up a combo, surprise your opponent. You also got 2 Distinguished Apprenticers, as I already talked about before, if I can pick it up. 3 gauge, gain a life. Pretty simple. Moving on. I don't know why, but I decided to put 2 copies of this, right here, into the deck. Military Tactics 2-Stage Plan. So you only cast this card, at the end of battle that your attack was nullified, you have 5 life or less. Stand a card on your field. So surprisingly, a lot of cards out there, there are, like, especially with the aggro meta, and, you know, stuff that are able to nullify spells, there's a lot of stuff now that can reduce damage, but this card still works because a lot of the time you'll find cards that shield, like, of course, Dragon Shields, they all, nullify attacks, so this can get you another attack if you really need it, especially if you need to get down to 5 for to activate Thunder Lance, so I find it sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Still a nice card to have in the deck, and, you know, why not? Winning with Wits, I find, is a good card in a budget deck. You only cast this card 4 life or less. It is from it's from Crossing Generations. 1 gauge. For this turn, all Thunderbird on your field get power +2000 and critical +1. Pair this up with some other stuff, you can just absolutely get some pretty just destructive power on your board. Try and get bots up to like 4 crit, double attack, triple attack, and you can set it up good enough, you can get some just pretty crazy combos. So I actually love this card in the Thunder Empire deck. I know it's not the best, it is 1 gauge, makes it a little bit gauge heavy, especially because I do not have bots X Link in this deck, but still, it works. Draco Bond, pretty sure you guys know what it does. Choose a monster on your left or right, choose a monster on your field, and you can only cast it, you don't have a monster in the center. Stays on the field, next time be destroyed, gain 2, so you can use that on bots. You can also use this on Tetra as well, for those who don't know. Basically what you can do is, at the start of your attack phase, you cast this, use its effect on Tetra, then Tetra can move to the center. Next time you be destroyed, he stands in the field, you gain 2, and he basically is like a double shield. So that's a little tip for those who don't know it. But yeah, you have to use it before, or you can use it like during your opponent's main phase on Tetra, and then you have that double defense shield right there. So 2 Dragon Bombs, it can sometimes work. 2 Bot 6 again. This card you just need. It's an extra attack. Bots gets rested, stand this card. I've seen people spam like 3 of these in a row on BFA, which is pretty insane. But like, Bot 6 again, great card. You need it in every single deck. It's okay if you don't have it, but Chaos Control Crisis, it's a great card. I only have 2 copies, but it works. Moving on, you've got Annex Thunder right here. I already talked about Heaven's X Sunshine, so there it is right there. I've got one Annex Thunder right here. You only cast this card, there's a monster with Bot, his card name on your field. 1 gauge for this turn, all Thunder Empire monster in your field get critical +1. Sorry, for this turn, a Thunder Empire monster in the field gets critical +1. My bad. Then if you have 5 life or less, draw cards. So, especially that there's a lot more bots and you have a lot more access to drop zone, like In the Name of Thunder Empire and Bots SD. Bring that out, pair up with this, and really it's just really fun to see what kind of combos you can set up. So, we're about to reach the end of the video. It's 15 minutes in. Let me speed this up a bit. 1 Fire Dragon Shield, because why not have reduced damage? It's a nice shield in the deck. 2 Green Dragon Shield. It's nullify gain a life. Usually you don't want to gain life because Thunder Empire you want to get low. But you know, sometimes you just have to have some shield. 4 Blue Dragon Shield. Thunder Empire needs the extra gauge, especially if you don't have Bot 6 Link. So I definitely recommend having 4 Blue Dragon Shields. I also like Blue Dragon Shield as well, which I play on BFA just because it's extra draw power if you need it. So 4 Blue Dragon Shields right there because you need gauge. And 2 Arc Dragon Shields. I would usually run more or 4, but again I only have 2 copies, but it's a really nice card. So basically your Green Dragon Shield, except you pay gauge, you nullify attack, and draw a card. And you can also draw into another Arc Dragon Shield and use it again, just like how Gao did against Ganata. So, geez, pretty sure I've destroyed my voice, but thank you to those who have watched. There it is, my Thunder Empire deck. For example, for combos, I really like Dual Spark just because that double attack. You can pair it up with a lot of cards, again, get that critical +1. For example, you can get, what I like to do is you get Bombarder, Dual Spark, Bots, Winning with Wits, which is really nice. Then you give critical +1 to your entire board, so now you have a 3 crit triple attacking Bots, or double attacking Bots if you don't have him. And then 3 crit double attacking Cylinder, and that 8k 2 crit Dual Spark, which is just really nice, especially if you don't have, like, Globs and other cards like that can give critical +1. But yeah, that's about it. Definitely, I think my deck needs more gauge cards, so maybe some more Distinguished Apprenticers or something else that can get more gauge. But right now, I think the deck is good. It's fun to play, and I think I've gone way overboard for time. But that's basically about it for this, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I think that's going to be about it. Thank you guys for those who watched Search for the Bots. And tell me what you guys think of the deck. I kind of messed it up right here, but anyways, see you guys later. Have a great day.